say Caitlin Clark should be training. She's with Michael Jordan. Like, it don't get no, like, I know a lot of people talk Caitlin Clark should have did Unrivaled. Caitlin Clark should have did basketball. She's with Michael Jordan. She's with the, like, there is no, like, no. I know everybody want Caitlin to be with Chris Brinkley, Drew Hanlon, and all these other damn trainers. She's with Michael Jordan, bro. Like, it don't get no, do I need to say more? Do I need to say more? She's with MJ, bro.
The world of sports just witnessed a leak so seismic, it might have permanently altered the future of an entire league. It all started with a few blurry frames from an exclusive golf club, but it exploded into a firestorm that has fans, players, and executives questioning everything they thought they knew about the WNBA's biggest star, Caitlin Clark. What was she really doing side by side with the greatest basketball player of all time, Michael Jordan? And why did this private meeting send the league's headquarters into a total panic?
Jordan's been had this golf course since 2019. The private golf course includes an 18-hole course, a main clubhouse, a gatehouse, a learning facility, and a practice range. There are even drones that deliver snacks and beverages to members during the play. The member list includes who's who in celebrities and professional athletes who all have received personal invitations from Jordan. The 15,000 square feet.
The answers are more shocking than anyone could have predicted. If you want the full, unfiltered story of how one video changed everything, you need to see this. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe right now, because the drama is just getting started. It all began when grainy photos and a short clip surfaced online, seemingly from inside Grove XXIII, Michael Jordan's legendary invite-only sanctuary in Florida. This isn't just any golf course. It's a fortress of privacy and power, nicknamed the Slaughterhouse because of the intensely competitive atmosphere Jordan cultivates there. The footage showed Caitlin Clark not just as a guest, but walking the course with MJ himself, sharing laughs.
Actual event that Caitlin Clark attended before we get into why she went viral. But instead, it's peek inside Grove XXIII, Michael Jordan's invite-only club. Since pace on selection are a large part of why Michael Jordan loves the golf game. And however, the legendary NBA star is one of the most recognizable people on the planet.
And then, in a moment that sent analysts into a frenzy, she was seen casually holding a basketball. This wasn't a random celebrity sighting. The location alone confirmed this was a strategic meeting. Every single person who steps foot on those grounds receives a personal invitation from Jordan himself, a list that includes only the most elite billionaires and legendary athletes. For Caitlin Clark to appear there meant one thing. Michael Jordan was personally and intentionally bringing her into his inner circle. Within hours, the internet was in a total meltdown. Hashtags like Clark times Jordan and Jordan mentors Sissy were trending worldwide, but the reaction was far from unified.
Clark is in the vicinity at a private event with Michael Jordan. Now, it's hard to believe that they're not talking basketball. We know it has to do with basketball a little bit.
A digital civil war erupted across every platform. On one side, fans were absolutely stunned, calling it a historic passing of the torch moment. Memes flooded timelines, comparing side-by-side photos of Jordan's famous shrug and Clark's own iconic moments, while video montages set to epic music showcased their parallel competitive fire. For years, Clark has drawn comparisons to Jordan for her mental toughness, her insane competitive fire, and her ability to completely shift the culture of the game. Now, those comparisons weren't just talk, they were playing out in real time.
If it's one person Caitlin Clark has been compared to her whole WNBA career, it's Michael Jeffrey Jordan. There's so many celebrities between the two, the injury, the hype, the just everything, the assault that was taking place on the basketball court. It's eerie similar.
But a vocal opposition emerged, with critics and some basketball purists arguing comparison was premature and disrespectful to Jordan's legacy. They questioned whether a rookie, no matter how talented, could ever shoulder that weight. This debate itself became fuel for the viral fire, driving engagement through the roof as everyone picked a side. Sports networks scrambled to verify the footage, pausing it frame by frame to identify Jordan's signature sneakers and Clark's new Nike gear, while podcasters and influencers released hot takes around the clock. TMZ even confirmed the backdrop matched the exclusive compound, adding a layer of tabloid legitimacy to the story.
This was a photo that Caitlin Clark was pictured in with the kid. Had herself a day, played Grove XX one-on-one, met the best female hooper in the game, Caitlin Clark. She was there with Michael Jordan, bro. Wow. So this was the photo right here. That hat went viral last night.
The whispers in the golf event had turned into a deafening roar, and the basketball world was forced to pay attention. This was no longer just a story about a rookie phenom. It was the birth of a new legend backed by the ultimate authority in the sport, and the public couldn't get enough of the drama, the speculation, and the sheer historical significance of it all. The digital ecosystem was feeding on itself, with every new comment, share, and reaction solidifying this moment as a genuine cultural tipping point. But while fans celebrated behind the polished doors of the WNBA's headquarters, a very different scene was unfolding. According to insiders, league officials went into full-blown crisis mode, calling emergency meetings to assess the damage. The mood was described as a mixture of panic and frustration. The WNBA had spent months carefully crafting Caitlin Clark's image, positioning her as the new face of the league, but always under their supervision and control. They had a specific playbook for promoting stars, one designed to maintain parity and a sense of collective growth. This private summit with Jordan represented a direct threat to that authority. Sources reported a palpable fear that Clark's brand was on the verge of skyrocketing past the league's reach. Executives were allegedly asking pointed questions. Was this a coordinated power play by Clark's agents? Was Michael Jordan, a figure with immense business sway, about to become a shadow influencer in their league? They worried about brand conflicts with Nike and the Jordan Empire, and they absolutely dreaded the potential for a power shift. If Jordan was mentoring Clark, it gave her a level of influence and leverage they simply couldn't match. The league that drafted her was suddenly terrified of the very star they were built around. There were even discussions, however preliminary, about how to legally frame individual conduct policies to prevent similar off-court alliances in the future. A clear sign they were scrambling to reassert control in a situation that was rapidly spinning away from them. The real story, however, likely happened far from the cameras. Insiders close to the situation revealed that after the golf round, Jordan requested a private, one-on-one conversation with Caitlin Clark. Witnesses described the meeting as intense and profoundly inspiring, held in the secluded glass-walled clubhouse of Grove XXIII. For nearly an hour, away from all other guests, the two legends spoke about competition, leadership, and the heavy weight of legacy. It's rumored that Jordan spoke to her as a true peer, not just a promising rookie. He reportedly told her that greatness always comes with a cost. That public criticism is simply the tax you pay for being different. He allegedly drew from his own storied past, recounting the Jordan rules and the constant physical and mental battles he faced, drawing a direct line to the targeted treatment Clark has received on the court. These words would have hit home for Clark, who has endured months of physical play, media scrutiny, and constant analysis. Jordan allegedly reminded her that every icon, from Kobe to Serena, had to walk through fire before earning universal respect. The meeting ended with a powerful symbol, a personalized Jordan brand basketball, gifted to Clark with a message that would become a rallying cry. Your era starts when you decide. This wasn't just a pep talk. It was a strategic session on managing the immense pressure of being a transcendent talent, a lesson in transforming the target on her back into a badge of honor, a philosophy Jordan himself mastered decades ago. Just as the initial leak began to settle, a new bombshell dropped that sent the sports marketing world into a tailspin. Whispers started circulating about a potential landmark deal between Caitlin Clark and the Jordan brand itself. This was unprecedented. Michael Jordan had never directly partnered with an active WNBA player under his personal label. The rumors gained explosive traction when a single image flashed across an Instagram story. Caitlin Clark lacing up a prototype sneaker with a glowing Jumpman logo. The caption was a mere 2 words, "Work in silence." The message was clear and electrifying. This wasn't just a mentorship. It was a groundwork for a business partnership that could redefine athlete endorsements in women's sports. Industry analysts immediately began crunching the numbers, predicting a signature shoe line that could shatter sales records, potentially rivaling those of established NBA stars. If true, Clark wouldn't just be another athlete in the Nike family. She would be entering that sacred circle of those personally anointed by his airness, a group that includes only the most globally recognized icons. The implications were staggering. suggesting that Jordan saw in Clark not just a player to mentor, but a business venture worth hundreds of millions, a bet on her ability to become the first true global superstar of women's team sports, with his brand riding alongside her for the ascent. The speculation was officially put to rest not with a press conference, but with a single powerful social media post. The official Jordan Brand account quietly shared a stark black and white photo of Caitlin Clark holding a basketball. The caption contained only 3 words: "Legacy recognizes legacy." The internet shattered. This was Jordan's silent, definitive stamp of approval, a message more powerful than any corporate announcement. The post was dissected like a piece of ancient art. The intensity in Clark's eyes, the way she held the ball, the minimalist aesthetic, all signaling a new, serious chapter. Behind the scenes, reports confirmed that Jordan himself had reached out to Nike's top executives. His message simple and clear: she's the future. This was more than an endorsement. It was a movement. Sources say plans are already in motion for a women's apparel line inspired by Clark's style, combining grace with uncompromising grit. And there is even talk of a documentary crew having been granted exclusive access to this entire journey. The WNBA's internal tension was now at a breaking point, forced to confront a reality where their biggest star was building an empire alongside a partner whose influence dwarfed their own, a partnership that had just been validated with one of the most iconic marketing gestures in modern sport history. As the business deals made headlines, the human element inside the league began to fracture. Reports surfaced of a deeply divided WNBA landscape, revealing a schism that went far beyond simple jealousy and tapped into long-simmering tensions about equity, recognition, and the very direction of women's basketball. While some players saw Clark's partnership with Jordan as a monumental win for all female athletes, finally granting a level of visibility and commercial value previously reserved for men, others were reportedly furious, viewing it as a betrayal of the collective struggle that defined the league for decades. This wasn't just about one player getting a big break. It was a cultural clash between the old guard and the new era. Veteran players, many of whom had fought for years for basic amenities, fair pay, and a sliver of the spotlight, watched as Clark's alliance with Jordan seemingly bypassed the very hierarchy they had dedicated their careers to building. They argued that the "we all rise together" narrative felt hollow when one individual was being elevated to a stratosphere none of them could reach. And worse, it was happening with the endorsement of an NBA legend who had never previously invested this level of personal capital in the WNBA. Anonymous quotes from veteran players hinted at feelings of disrespect, with one famously stating, "It's not the Caitlin Clark League," a sentiment that echoed through private group chats and team meetings. The frustration was less about Clark's talent and more about the perception that the years of grinding in relative obscurity, of playing on worn-out courts for minimal fanfare, were being instantly overshadowed. This division manifested in subtle yet telling ways on and off the court. In locker rooms, the atmosphere was described as electrically charged, with conversations halting when certain players entered. On the floor, some observers noted a perceptible shift in body language, teammates perhaps hesitating to pass in key moments, or veterans from opposing teams playing with an extra edge of physicality, as if to prove a point that respect in this league still had to be earned through traditional means, not just viral moments and corporate anointing. Unverified footage even surfaced of a tense locker room discussion between Clark and a teammate, arguing over loyalty and the spotlight. The clip, though grainy and without clear audio, was dissected online, with lip readers claiming to identify phrases like "wait your turn" and "we built this." Whether the clip was authentic or not, it fueled a narrative of a league splitting into 2 camps: those who embraced a new paradigm Clark represented, one of individual superstar branding and market-driven fame, and those who felt the foundations they had built through collective sacrifice and solidarity were being not just overshadowed, but fundamentally dismantled. This internal conflict became the true shadow story of the season, a psychological undercurrent that affected team chemistry, game strategies, and the league's public image, proving that the most intense battles weren't always for a championship, but for the soul of the sport itself. The aftermath of this scandal has irrevocably changed the landscape of professional basketball. What began as a leaked video from a golf course has exposed the fragile control a league can have over a generational talent, revealing a fundamental tension between collective growth and individual superstardom. The Clark effect is now a measurable force, doubling Indiana Fever ticket prices overnight and causing Jordan brand merchandise associated with her to sell out in minutes. but its true impact is far more profound. We are witnessing the birth of a new economic model in women's team sports, one that operates parallel to the traditional league structure. Sports economists predict this partnership could inject millions into women's basketball, but that money might flow directly to Clark and her brand, bypassing the league's central office entirely. This creates a paradoxical situation. The league benefits from her halo effect through increased media rights fees and overall visibility, yet it simultaneously loses its position as the primary gatekeeper of her value and influence. This isn't just about jersey sales. It's about a power redistribution. For decades, the league was the sun around which all players orbited. Now, Caitlin Clark has stepped into a new realm of influence, proving that true star power can create its own gravity, becoming a celestial body so massive that the league itself must now adjust its trajectory to revolve around her. The WNBA now stand at a crossroads, forced to either adapt to this new power dynamic or risk being left behind. Do they cling to a system built on uniformity and attempt to reign in their brightest star? Or do they embrace this as an opportunity to rewrite the rulebook, creating new revenue-sharing models for players who drive a disproportionate amount of the league's business? This moment echoes the transformative era of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird in the NBA, but with a crucial difference. The digital age and NIL, name, image, and likeness era have accelerated this process, allowing a player to build a global brand before even finishing their first professional season. The game will never be the same. We are entering an era where the next great prospect and their agents will look at the Clark Jordan blueprint as a new standard, potentially demanding individual media rights and brand partnerships as part of their entry into the league. This forces us to ask a critical question. What do you think? Is Caitlin Clark breaking barriers for women's basketball, creating unprecedented financial and cultural opportunities that will lift the entire sport to heights previously unimaginable, or is she inadvertently breaking the system that built her, creating a superstar-centric model that could fracture locker rooms and undermine the collective bargaining and unity that players fought for decades to secure? The answer is complex and may not be clear for years, but one thing is certain: the conversation and the game has been forever altered. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for the latest on this unfolding drama.